Ordered me a new set of Klim Badlands Pro gear, and the first piece has showed up here. I'd like it if the whole thing showed up at once, but supply issues being what they are, it's a piece by piece kind of thing. The jacket showed up, so I'm going to cover that right now. Okay, right off the bat, before I go anywhere else, I'm going to touch on the elephant in the room. This stuff is expensive. Now there's a reason for it. They make their gear out of the absolute best materials available. It's still expensive. Up until recently, it was one of those things that I looked at, I really wanted it, but there's no way I could afford it. Well, this year, Klim reps offered a special discount to those of us that are getting ready to run the Hoka Hey. It knocked the price down from there's no way in the world I can afford this to it's going to hurt, but I really need it. Jacket came in, put 2,500 miles on it in the Missouri Rally, and I do not regret buying it in the slightest. This is the best riding jacket I've ever owned. Everything about this setup is absolutely first rate. I wish I would have saved the box. Even the box they shipped it in was beautiful. They ship it with their own high quality coat hanger. It's the right shape and everything to make sure that when it's hanging in the closet it ain't gonna get all folded up and everything. That's just a nice touch to it. Now if you take a look at the Harley-Davidson jacket and the Klim jacket, they don't really look that much different. And to a certain point, an adventure jacket is an adventure jacket. When you start getting down in the details, that's where you really get the difference. A big part of the cost is that the Klim jacket is just made out of absolutely top quality components. One of the neater ones that they have is super fabric. That stuff is just kind of amazing. Yeah, and the elbows and the shoulders, this is where they have the super fabric. That's what this gray stuff is here. If you take a look at it, you see there's a whole bunch of little bumps there. What those actually are, this fabric has ceramic beads embedded into it. The idea behind that is if you get in a wreck on asphalt at high speed, things like that, you're sliding on the ceramic instead of sliding on some type of cloth. The abrasion resistance of the ceramic beads is off the chart. It's supposed to be better than the leather jackets that most racers wear. Great touch. It's a good thing all the way around because even the hardcore adventure riders spend a lot of time in the highways and the streets and the asphalt. Up here on the top, instead of just having the main jacket pocket here, which on theirs is actually waterproof, they also have a little external pocket here for a spot. Spots are spot trackers. In the rally world, and a lot of the adventure riders use them. These are satellite tracking units. Lets the people at home see where you are. On the rally, it lets the rally masters see where you are, where you're going, if you actually went where you said you were, and if you're speeding or not. Also has a SOS button. Good things to have. A lot of us have them. It's great that they have a pocket right there on the front to keep it. That way it stays with you if you go down. They have a nice back and behind it to keep things from rubbing on your jacket. These are good if you have to attach a radio, things like that you might need to have access to on the outside, or it's too big to put in the pocket. On the front, they got pockets. It's nice they got a little tab here to help you pull them open. Of course, these are waterproof like all the pockets are in the front of this thing. Got a couple of big vents here. Got a big vent here on both sides. They also have these vents here right in front of the shoulder. These vents are kind of neat. I'll show you them later on when I put on the jacket. This is a good setup here too. It's a combination. On the one hand, you can open up these as a vent to let air in, or you need to get it over top of great big old gloves, you can do it that way. Then close it and it'll open up as a vent as well. One other interesting thing I noticed about this jacket, this upper strap right here, you unzip the front and the back vents, you tighten this thing down, it'll hold these open. On the back they got a big old mat pocket too. They did theirs a little bit different and I like the way they did it. They got waterproof zippers on both sides. But the neat thing about theirs is their pocket runs all the way through. Whatever you put here, you can reach from either side. If you're especially flexible, I suppose you could reach behind you and pull it out. I'm not that flexible anymore, and I'm not really sure if I ever was. They also have great big vents in the back too. These vents work really good in conjunction with these shoulder vents. I'll show you when I put the jacket on, but they make kind of a cross blowing through the back, and the air just blows out of here on both sides. And actually, I found out with this jacket, when you're riding in 100-degree weather, it's actually a lot cooler in this jacket than you are riding around in a t-shirt. And a t-shirt isn't going to protect you from anything. Now the big difference between these two is the inside. This jacket is completely waterproof when it's all zipped up the way it is. So you don't need those waterproof liners like on the Grit jacket. Now the Revit Harley Passage jacket is already waterproof, so you don't have to worry about that. But this one, the jacket is what the jacket is. And one of the first things I noticed right off the bat, this thing has a kidney belt. It's kind of a neat thing. Works kind of like the kidney belts on the old black leather motorcycle jackets like you saw in the Wild Ones and stuff. On those old hardtails, you beat yourself to death on them, so you really had to buckle it down and it helped support your back. This does the same thing. It's pretty neat. It does really help when you got to pick up that heavy beast too. I found that out. The back comes stock with D30 armor. And one thing I noticed about this armor is a lot more comfortable and is a lot more ventilated than it was on the Revit Harley ones. This one also has chest plates on both sides. Of course, it has the typical elbow armor and shoulder armor. And once again, this stuff's a little bit more flexible and a little bit softer, so it's not going to mess with you as much. Now, the inside liner on this stuff is supposed to be antimicrobial. It's supposed to be real good for wearing the same clothes for long periods of time, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing in a couple of months for the Hoka Hey, and is exactly what I'm going to be doing next year in the Iron Butt Rally. Also notice on the bottom, it's got the part that zips off, so the shirt and the pants can zip together if you need it. I don't think I'm going to use that in the Hoka Hey, because it generally is going to be a really hot ride from the looks of it. The other thing I like about these is all the areas like this have a real soft liner. That, you look where the neck is all the way around, it's got that real soft liner. Makes for a very comfortable jacket. Now here's one thing I really like about these shoulder vents. They pop down just like anybody else's, but the nice thing is the way they've got them set here, when you actually put your hand up on the handlebars, makes a scoop. Wind from right outside the windshield comes in, gets here. It actually has kind of a ramjet effect going across the back. Had cold air blowing across my back the whole way through. It was beautiful. One more thing I really like, and I've never seen it on any other jacket, these little hard plastic clips here. They're actually pretty awesome. What it is if you're riding slow in really hot weather, a little elastic loop right over, snaps right in place. Both sides have them. It holds your jacket open, gives you a little bit more breath, a little bit more room. Change your mind later on, real easy, just pop right back off again. Beautiful idea. Well, sounds like the weather's coming in, so I probably ought to wrap this up. Well, that's it for the Badlands jacket. Love it. Glad I had it, every single bit of the Missouri Rally. Put 2,500 miles on it. Beautiful jacket. As soon as the pants come in, I'll go ahead and review those. But supply is what supply is. Wife always reminds me, I forget to say this, so if you could, like, subscribe, and share it. And go ahead and be safe out there. Take care. And I think I'm going to go see if I can find my pants.